JJ the CPA here. You know, one thing I'm hearing from clients that we all may do, but I'm going to tell you I don't, because I purposely don't do this, and that is this. People will state they're confused about something. Okay, that's fine, and it's probably okay to state what you're thinking. But if you're going to think or state, I find taxes so confusing, I find math confusing, you are then going to remain in a state of confusion. Now, maybe there's the 1 or 2% of you that then motivates you to then figure something out or learn a bit more about it. But most people that I come across, clients, after 26 years, choose to stay in the state of confusion because they've not told themselves, and I don't mean this as snotty, they've not told themselves to figure it out, to be less confused, to learn a little bit more information. So if I have a client that says, I find taxes so confusing, I say, well, let me tell you a little bit more, but once I tell you more, you're going to be less confused. Are you ready? Then we talk about it, and I say, are you less confused? If they say, yes, I'm still confused, then I say, well, what is it that we need to discuss so you're no longer confused? So on the flip side, if you're dealing with someone, a client or a customer, and they say they're confused, then your goal is, well, what is it that they need to know so they're no longer confused? What we say puts something into action, whether we're telling something to somebody or we're saying it about ourselves. So don't be in a state of confusion, because none of you are dumb. You all are very smart, and I'm not even saying that in a Sesame Street way. It's just the truth. There really is very little that you should be confused by. Now, there could be stuff that you're like, well, you know, I don't know a lot about that, but I think I get the gist of it. All right, well, at least you're not confused, because confusion is really, when you think about it, and if you look up the definition, it means you are in a situation that you're choosing to be confused, and you do have the option to learn more to not be confused. Because if you're confused, what happens? Nothing. Is it productive? No. When a client says, well, I find taxes so confusing, guess what? That tax return's not going to be as good as it can be, because as I'm asking questions to the client and seeking additional information, if they remain in a state of confusion, they're not going to be able to give me the information that I need, possibly as complete. So don't be in a state of confusion. And if you have customers that are in a state of confusion, ask them, what can I do so that you're not in a state of confusion? And then follow up and make sure that you have pulled them out. Boom. All right. Hey, I appreciate you listening. Hopefully these are good thoughts. I just came across it last night with somebody and walked it through, and they were very thankful that we spent a little bit more time so that they were no longer in a state of confusion. All right. Hey, I appreciate you all. And don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me.
Well, here's the bottom line. You need to subscribe to my videos, right? I've given you valuable information here. I appreciate you tuning in, but here's what I need you to do. A favor, click subscribe, check out my other videos, and then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me.